gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saieed. We are pleased to be in your living room, your dining room, your bedroom, on your tablet in your car. We are pleased to be with you on Facebook and YouTube. So viewers, share our live stream on Facebook. Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Like, share. On YouTube, it's TT Real Talk. Subscribe and just keep sharing our social media platform. Why am I asking you to do this? Because we want it to reach as many as possible. Remember that, viewers. Also, keep in mind, Real Talk Credit Union is now open to the public, viewers. We are asking you, if you want to save money, be a member of Real Talk Credit Union on savings, on investments, on fixed deposits, on shares. Viewers, the only way you can reach your dream for tomorrow is start saving. And we at Real Talk Credit Union are giving you the opportunity to start saving. Now, viewers, Real Talk Credit Union will be the only credit union that will be opening a credit union outside of our country. I'm guaranteeing you that. Why? Because I have already made contact with certain people in countries to start to go across and negotiate with them. I know there's finance departments in other countries. So viewers, watch a company grow. Not only just grow, but grow for you and with you. Remember that. Real Talk Credit Union is here to stay. It is not here to start today and fall tomorrow. No. We're not on that. We're not on that. This is a company that is growing, a financial institution that is growing. So remember that, viewers. We are located at number 14 Carolina Savannah Road in Shogunas, 132 Cipero Road, Victoria Village in San Fernando. Call our office, set up an appointment from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We'll be glad to serve you. Also, I am a licensed money lender. Those of you looking for cash, remember Real Talk Finance and Investment is a money lending institution. Some would say money laundering. No, we're not laundering. We're lending. That is our office number on screen, viewers. Get in contact with us and we would love to do business with you. So as we start our program tonight, before we go there, remember I'm a spiritual consultant. You're having spiritual problems, you can also contact me. So Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali have stated that he has requested that the board of Paria Fuel Trading Company move quickly to settle outstanding dispute regarding compensation to families of the 4 LMCS divers who died inside an underwater pipeline in February 2022. The company, he said, was required to take the advice and guidance of its insurers in order to benefit from this coverage. The PM met with the families of the divers involved in the tragedy or the tragic incident which occurred in February 2022 at a facility owned by Paria Fuel Trading Company Limited. Paria earlier today at Whitehall. Lone survivor of LMCS diver Christopher Budram, along with relatives of the 4 deceased divers, were present. However, Budram said Rowley did not tell them anything they had not heard before. Now, while others felt the meeting was 2 years too late, they did not hear anything from the prime ministers of new words, of comfort. Hey, it's sad, you know, boy. Listen to this.
But he did say that he would and did speak to Paria concerning the whole issue, and Paria assure him that the insurance working and that he asked Paria to be as sympathetic as possible and things. But other than that, nothing definite, you know, nothing of substance was this meeting, at least thus far.
Nothing of substance. 2 years too late. When you do meet now face to face with family members, nothing of substance. So it's vague. It's no meaning. 2 years after you meet with us, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? It's sad. It's really, really sad. The family asked Rowley, why was the Paria board still employed? But he stated that it was not Paria executive fault and reminded them the issue of compensation was still ongoing through the litigation process. Trinidad and Tobago, $15 million spent on an inquiry. 2 years down the road, family have not received anything. $15 million spent. Not 1,500 or 15,000, you know. $15 million spent. 2 years up the road. What compensation did the family get? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. $15 million. So you spent $15 million just to say who was right and who was wrong. And up to now, the family ain't even all ain't give them money to buy bread self. You see how sad it is? Money to throw away here, but no money to give here. It's sad, you know. It's sad. He urged your families to similar advice their lawyers that every attempt should be made to conclude the matter quickly and fairly. However, relatives added that they would not stop until Paria answers all of their questions surrounding the tragedy. And I do not give the families wrong. I do not give the families. Prime Minister meet with families of divers. Question today during a post-cabinet briefing that a lone diver was disappointed after the PM met. Now, Rowley stated he was unsure what the families expected. He said there are processes to follow, and he did sympathize with the family.
What the disappointment could only be based on an expectation, and then that begs the question, what exactly did they expect? I try to make it very clear that we're dealing with an event, and there are processes that have to be followed. Paria is a state company, but the board doesn't own it. The board acts on behalf of the population, taxpayer. Asking for an intervention by the Prime Minister to circumvent the insurance and legitimate liability processes is not going to happen. I said so from this podium. So if they came expecting me to use the office of the Prime Minister to decree that A, B, C, D should happen, that is not going to happen, because that is not how it's supposed to happen. I was at pains to explain to them the expressions of empathy and sympathy, as I must tell you, it was quite a difficult meeting to have with people who, went through and are going through what they're going through. But what we're dealing with is not new.
Now viewers, you heard that. Now listen this. Question on why Paria has been dragging its feet with payments to the families. The Prime Minister explained that an officer of settlement, an offer of settlement is being held up because of lack of information provided by LMCS. Listen to this.
Well, I don't agree with that. I explained where the advice that I have, I explained that to them, that it is a situation where, in fact, it is what is holding up an offer of settlement from Paria's insurance to them is information, pertinent information about the employment history of the people who are the claimants, which is a normal requirement if you're going to make an insurance claim of this nature. Right?
But,
So it cannot be said to be Paria, because Paria's people want that from NMCS, and apparently the information I have is that it has not been supplied, and they told me this morning that they will work with their lawyers to make it available. So that's what it is.
So I want to ask this question to the Prime Minister, and to Paria, and to LMCS. So after 2 years of this tragic incident, 2 long years, you're going to tell me LMCS can't share the employment records with Paria? 2 years? How long does it take a company to go to HR to find out how long Saieed Ali have been employed with Real Talk? How long does it take? 2 years? If it takes 2 years, I'll be like, wow, so long it take you? You are still in the ages where you're using pen and paper to record? And then you go file that away, or you all have computer with an HR department? And when Saeed come, okay, now see Saeed, he's a master in this, he have a degree in this, he good at this, he's in this field for 5 years. 2 years now, LMCS, according to what you just heard from the Prime Minister, 2 years now, Paria is waiting for the employment record from LMCS. Prime Minister came and shared that with. So is there any truth now? Because I could tell you something, I could send, anybody could come and ask for an individual who works at my company. And when they go to HR department and they pull John Doe, you will see how John Doe, you will see the qualification of John Doe. You will see if John Doe have a degree. You will see how long John Doe has been working with Real Talk. You will see if John Doe have any claims with Real Talk. Does it take 2 years to get that? No. No. Within a day or two, you're getting everything on that individual. So we want to know the truth now. Between the Prime Minister saying that he heard that LMCS has not provided with Paria employment record. Who is dragging foot now? Or who is telling the truth? Or who is telling a lie? That now will give the family and the lawyers, let me tell you something, a different playing field. But 2 years to find out how long 4 divers working? No, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculousness. Paula, good night.
Good night, Saeed. Saeed, I'm feeling for those divers and the family and the widows. You know, if they were Baptists, they might have get some money. You know, you get the Baptist community 10 million. And if they had asked me for advice, I tell them, go to the Prime Minister meeting with your Baptist way and you might have get some money. This man need a change of heart, and I don't know if it's a transplant or thing. He has me really cringing when he opens his mouth. But I want to talk to you. Your cousin, the Commissioner of Police, you hear how she admitted that she can't do the job? She says she's overworked, and that is the person, KCR, the fellow who don't want to stand liability for the Paria, say, no, she good, and now she in a corner. Yeah, what you going to say now? You're going to say the judge come down too hard on him. You understand that? That is what he's saying, the judge come down too hard. But Erla is not fit for the job.
Shouldn't have just fit.
Yes, agitate to get her remove. I'm going to have a nice night.
You not tired? You overworked? Eh? You overworked without a plan? You 60 or close to 60 and you still overwork? You should have been off the force from the time they gave you the portfolio of the commissioner, but you should have told them no, I can't take that. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back from this break, you're going to hear Heritage Petroleum is a success story. Continue after.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali have stated that Heritage Petroleum Company Limited is more than halfway to repaying its predecessors of $11.8 billion debit after less than 6 years of operation. So you want to tell me that Petroleum could not make this money? You're going to tell me that you cannot change the board of Petroleum? Look at money Paria making. In less than 6 years, they're paying back a debt of $11.8 billion. And all we had to do was change the board in Petroleum. That is all we had to do. But I will tell you something. Friends and family in high places will always benefit from friends and family in high places. I will tell you that tonight. The PM said he is now standing proudly behind his decision to restructure Petroleum, as the company had already served $7.5 billion of its predecessors' debit. Listen to this.
850 million US that was due in August 2018 by restructuring the company, where the parent could not have approached a bank to service and restructure that loan. The new company, Heritage, was able to do that, having shaken off all other problems and now being an oil-producing, oil-selling company with a revenue We were able to restructure that loan, refinance that loan, because Heritage came in and took responsibility for $11.8 billion in debt that Petroleum was carrying and couldn't service. Heritage took responsibility for servicing that loan. You would have heard from the chairman this morning that in dealing with Petroleum debt that was passed on to Petroleum's child Heritage, Heritage has already, in interest and capital, has paid $7.5 billion there.
Who is the owners of Heritage Petroleum? Who are the owners? The present administration, the Minister of Public Utilities, wants to restructure Wasa. They want to restructure Wasa, who supplies water to our nation. But they couldn't restructure Petroleum, a refinery, the only refinery in the Caribbean. Our Prime Minister could not find people to restructure that. They had to take an outside company. Everybody have common sense. Not everybody could stand up and face a gun. Me, point a gun to my head and I will still tell you the truth. I will die telling you the truth. Because lying and getting killed, you get nothing. Talking the truth and getting killed, believe me, you have the trust of the people. And that's the difference. How many of us are really ready to stand up for that? Call a good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead, you're live.
I'm calling from Tunapuna.
Welcome, my friend.
Saeed, let me show you the hypocrisy of this sick man they call Keith Rowley. Because out of that, how much $1 billion he said Petroleum was doing? Do you know it was about $8 to $10 billion was accumulated under, you know who? Malcolm Jones, he partner with Nikon. So it was P&M, and that money was shared up between P&M, you know, friend. Let me have fool myself. Because that whole project failed. You see how much bacchanality is now with it? They want to shut it down and all kind. In fact, it shut down. But the money, when the opposition raised the concern about it, you know what Rowley said? He was a good man and he served the country well and whatnot, and we forget that. That is bygone. Understand? But that debt, $8 to $10 billion, was accumulated under Keith Rowley, the P&M, by Malcolm Jones. And you never saw it fit to take it? Now, let me ask you something, Saeed, again. Ola Christopher says she was tired and whatnot and things. Why the hell you applied for the job for? Where you don't have a track record of performance. In other words, you were obtaining a salary in the police service at a high position as a failure, a fraud, collecting taxpayers' money, doing nothing. Now you reach retirement age. You apply for the job and boiling what is too much pressure and you're overworked and all this kind of damn nonsense. You see, they put 3 days for a particular reason, just like they put the man with the SSA to carry out the nasty work of the government. But last night was more laughable. I was just watching the news before you came on, and you know what they said? The Prime Minister said it is not the constitutional right of any individual to get a licensed firearm. Could you imagine that, Saeed? So what about the business people? What protection or anything at all? You telling people that the business, that people, it is not their constitutional right to have a firearm, legally apply for it and go through all the processes. Well, why the hell with the crime surge at over the 8 or 9 years you're in office? Why only then pass that legislation early o'clock and say, look, you see, we're not granting any firearm license. So wouldn't that be better? So that people would know, well, here what's happening. See me, I have no protection to my business or my family, but I pack up my blasted business and I leave this country. But you never dealt with that. Only now you want to come and make an issue of it because you have Ola Christie for there, you have it under your control and whatnot, and you want to attack Gary Griffith and line and say no, but firearm license that Gary Griffith issued. You understand, Sai? So let me tell you something. This man is a bold-faced liar. He's a notorious...
Thank you, my friend. I understand. We understand, but we're on time tonight. I do apologize for that. Now listen to Trinidad and Tobago. In addition to what the Prime Minister is saying, in addition to decreasing its debit, Heritage Chairman Michael Kwame has said the company has been making its tax requirement, paying around $12.6 billion annually since its inception in 2018. He added that these payments were being made while meetings co-expense for exploration and production of oil and gas. Those costs are expected to total $2.9 billion this year. Rowley added that on top of servicing the loan and taking responsibilities, Heritage also has done so well that it is able to carry out its legal responsibilities, which to pay its tax and royalty to the Minister of Finance. Look who the money paying to. Oh, let's listen to this.
And of course, on top of servicing the loan and taking the responsibility and the threat away from the Minister of Finance, Heritage has done so well that it is able to carry out its legal responsibilities, which is to pay its taxes and royalties to the Minister of Finance, something that Petroleum was not doing. Everybody in this country, state or otherwise, extracting oil or gas, especially oil, had to pay royalty as required by the tax laws of this country. You know who wasn't paying that? Petroleum. But Heritage is paying it. So as well as servicing the loan in US dollars, escaping the stranglehold of the bullet payment, Heritage has been paying its liabilities to the BIR. So we've been getting some taxes from Heritage. Heritage is a success story.
So I want to ask the Prime Minister, who is Heritage? Who are the owners of Heritage? Who controls Heritage? Who funds Heritage? Or where's Heritage Petroleum getting funding from? What kind of company Heritage Petroleum was before? Do we have privilege for this information, Mr. Prime Minister? Rowley added that $850 million US was due in August 2018 in one check, which Petroleum could not pay as it was struggling to service an additional US $750 million loan. The PM said if he had left it the way it was, approximately 5,000 people would have been happy. A union would have been all over the country making noise, but 1.4 million people would not have been on the road to IMF. Listen to this.
$850 million US dollars due in August 2018 in one check, which Petroleum could not pay. Struggling to service an additional $750 million US. And the Minister of Finance, who was standing by carrying the guarantees, was also servicing $400 million US. That was the National Oil Company. If we had left it the way it was, approximately 5,000 people would have been happy. A union would have been all over the country making noise and threatening everybody, living high on the hog. But 1.4 million people would have been on the road to the IMF. the government had to act.
So imagine that Trinidad and Tobago. As part of the restructuring, Trinidad Petroleum Holding Limited was created. It has 4 subsidiaries: Heritage, Paria Fuel Trading Company Limited, Wasa Refinery Limited, and the Trinidad Petroleum Company of Trinidad and Tobago. To date, Rowley noted that 2 parties are currently interested in Guayakara Refinery, but it was not yet a sealed deal. And after we'll take the call.
I can tell you, as we speak to you now, there are 1 or 2 people. One looks very promising, one looks very interested, but until the horse begins to drink the water, you don't know what's happened at the river. Lots of people want a refinery, because some people think it's a chemistry set, but we are still open for that, and we're still making that available, and we're still holding out hope that someday, someone who has a supply of oil, not the government of Trinidad and Tobago, because the government has no business going back in to where we came from there.
Well, good night.
Good evening, Mr. Said. How are you doing?
Aye, good. Go right ahead.
Said, if it is a government in power that governing a country has done so much for the country to secure our future, why does every single thing in the country keeps going up instead of being more compatible for the citizen? Why it is we are keep on paying more taxes? Why it is the burden is always on the citizen more and more, rather than if you have a government that's supposed to bring relief to the population, make your life better, and make you more comfortable with the little that you're earning. And this government saying that how they do so much, they shut down Petroleum, they're saving us 750 million by how much? Other million in US. And then we still have to come up now and pay more out of our pockets to maintain this government.
Correct.
So what it is, this country needs to think that, hey, hear what this man saying, what this fool is saying to the population is lies. Every single thing that comes out from Rowley mouth and Imbert mouth is lie to this population. How, if I own a home and I doing so much to maintain my home, but my children can't get no clothes, I'm beating my wife, I can't provide food on the table, but I boasting and saying I'm doing so good for my home. It's the same thing what this man saying. You coming and telling the population that how you're doing so good for this population, but every single thing now, you have the population under burden. Unemployment, people, homelessness is at the highest level in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Unemployment is the highest level of Trinidad and Tobago. Crime is the highest level of Trinidad and Tobago. People that pay more money out of their pocket for taxes, and he coming and telling us that he doing good for his country. All you vote him again and put him back again. Next 5 years, make sure you know how to make doubles with grass and mud. Have a good night, Mr. Said.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, Property Tax Valuation Tribunal to be appointed soon after this.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com. and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
So welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Remember, viewers, we are encouraging you to set up an account at Real Talk Credit Union for savings, for shares, for fixed deposits. Remember that. And also Real Talk Finance and Investment. You're looking for cash borrow, it's not a problem. You can contact them. So viewers, hello, listen to this. Finance Minister Colin Imbert has confirmed that Property Tax Valuation Tribunal will be appointed within the next month or so. UNC MP Saddam Hussein has requested the status of the Valuation Tribunal, adding that he confirms from the President that none was yet to be appointed. However, Imbert stated that when you want to challenge a valuation, you do not go to the Valuation Tribunal. The commissioners of the valuation can either reduce it, reject, or accept your complaint, and then the Valuation Tribunal kicks in. Listen to this.
The other measures that I would like to deal with, again, the fiction about the absence of the Valuation Tribunal. The first port of call is the Commission of Valuations. When you want to challenge a valuation, you don't go to the Valuation Tribunal. And I heard one of the UNC senators talking about what some other UNC MP said in the other place, and he spoke so well. He spoke nonsense, because the law says that if you are uncomfortable with a valuation, you must first ask the Commissioner of Valuations to revisit her valuation. You have to go to her first. And if she could either reduce it, confirm it, reject your thing, accept your complaint, whatever. It is after that that the Valuation Tribunal kicks in.
Now, viewers, Finance Minister also added that since the process is using valuation only, occurred a few months ago, the commissioners has 12 months to deal with it, and he assure persons that they are not going to hustle it.
Since the process of valuation, sending out valuations, only occurred a couple months ago, the Commissioner of Valuations has 12 months to deal with it, and I can assure you they're not going to hustle this thing, because if somebody objects, what are you going to do? Obviously, you're going to have to visit the place, because the person is objecting. My house is not as big as you said it was. My house is not an executive property. It may not even be a standard property. It's a low level. Obviously, you have to go and visit. Obviously, you have to go and measure the place, and it will have to be done on a mutually agreed basis. So the Commissioner of Valuations cannot, within a week or two, reverse a valuation. It has to be done properly.
Now, they said they're giving it 12 months. Imbert said he accepts that 12 months may be too long, and that they may also have to re-examine. Paula, good night.
Saeed, good night.
Go right ahead, my dear.
Saeed, how much of our taxpayers' money will have to pay this tribunal now? Second thing.
Correct.
Ola has to go, because when the man took Ola to court in Tobago, the judge asked Ola why it took so long. Ola now coming under fire and under pressure. So she has to go because she was placed there because of politics. The third thing, Saeed, didn't I call how long ago and say that these Paria men that was murdered in the tunnel, didn't I say it was going to be swept under the carpet? Nobody barking at these people. These people sat too long. I even said in my call, they need to get lawyers from outside to come and fight for their deceased family. Because in Trinidad, nobody cares. Everybody just wants to fill their pocket and live large. No, these people come now and calling to talk to Rowley. I prefer to talk to my Rottweiler and my Potong I have in the yard than talk to Rowley concerning my family, because Rowley don't care about nobody. Rowley say he going on vacation. What vacation? Taxpayers' money paying your vacation. And we suffering. We can't even go to Tobago because the cost to stay in a hotel in Tobago, Saeed, here now, we ain't get it yet from this PNM government, you know. And people like they have seen it and feeling it yet. When you see they start to go and rob the groceries, then people going to wake up and let Imbert and them know what time it is. Them poor people feel they was getting justice from Rowley. Rowley's an inhumane man. He don't have feelings for nobody. Thank you, Saeed.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, we're running a little late on public concerns, but nevertheless, we will start public concerns now. So, hear this. Hear this. You know, Wednesday night is public concerns on Real Talk with Saeed. This is where we deal with the issues within your community. The roads, the water, the street lights, the box drain, the pavement, lack of MP, lack of councillor in your area. Tonight is the night that we highlight that. So, Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have stated that the Water and Sewer Authority, Wasa, will spend $1 billion to construct wells and 2 small desal plants in unserved and unserviced communities. Listen to this.
The major component of that $1 billion program is the IDB program that the government signed off about, is going on 2 years, and that is $80 million US, nearly $500 million of that. In addition to that, in the public sector investment program, the government would have set aside approximately $200 million in addition to the $80 million investment program by the IDB. And a month ago, or I think it was at the end of January, the government approved a further $160 million.
Caller, good night.
Hi, good night, Saeed. Saeed, I want to say something with regards to Petroleum and this new company, Heritage Petroleum.
Go right ahead.
You see, the media, when the media invited to attend press conferences hosted by the Prime Minister, they should have sensible people, right, going to this media conference and asking sensible questions. The Prime Minister indicated that Petroleum was not paying monies to the Minister of Finance, which is corporate soul. The question the media should have asked then is that who were the board, the chairman of the board, the last chairman of the board of Petroleum when they closed off and went into Heritage is Wilfred Espinay. That is the PNM boy that they put in there to run Petroleum, and he was the one who closed down Petroleum.
Correct.
The question the media have to ask is that why it is the Wilfred Espinay led board did not pay royalties to the Minister of Finance.
Correct.
And that is the question should be asked. You see, and if the media go to these things and don't ask the correct question or the right question, how do you expect the population to be educated on what it is? You see, because corporate soul, man, and something I want to let you know too, every oil producing well in this country, in this country, the minister has something they call the minister's share. 10% of the oil reserve is under the Minister of Energy, and that is the minister's shares. The minister can decide where he wants to sell that oil and where he wants to put that money, and that is for reserve, and that is to use in case of any unforeseen, revenue loss. The minister can determine where he wants that shares to go to. But the media has to ask correct questions when these things happen. Thanks.
Thank you, my friend. Stacey, now viewer, this is why we ask you to call in and share your opinion. Let me tell you something, is big people in position is be watching Real Talk here. You know why? Because we ain't talking nonsense. We ain't talking nonsense. We want to bring the raw facts to you. That is what we want to do. Marvin, he said, Wasa will focus on a refurbishment exercise of its infrastructure, mainly its water treatment plant and building mini desal plant as part of the program. 4 years ago, Gonzalez said only 32% of Trinidad and Tobago population had 24/7 access to water. However, today, that figure has increased to 6%.
In a year from...
He added that with this massive investment under the IDB, 90% of the population having a reliable and sustainable improvement in their supply. Listen to this.
In a year from today, whilst we have 61% of our population getting 24/7 supply, based on government's development plans for the water sector, over 80 or 90% by the middle of next year of the population will have access to clean, potable water.
Now Trinidad and Tobago, you all remember Robert Lahunt? You all remember Robert Lahunt? Robert Lahunt said, I will go to Israel and I will bring down a device that we will see water line leaking under the road. Marvin, you have that system set up? I don't know, I'm asking. Robert Lahunt said, it's water for all. Kamala said the same thing. No. Now Trinidad and Tobago, years up the road. We and Marvin Gonzalez saying the same thing now. We hearing the same thing now. That's what I tell earlier. In 2024, it's about demanding. Demanding. And I side will demand from those in authority. Remember I was telling you all Wasa had to do was to allocate spots. Caroni Limited have land throughout Trinidad. And all the head of Wasa have to do is to allocate spots, dig damp, and supply water. It comes with a cost, yes. But you will tell me how long PNM in power and Trinidad still suffering for water? It's sad, boy. It's sad. It's sad that we have ministers who have book sense but no common sense and a vision. No common sense and a vision. Gonzalez said, tenders will be awarded to kickstart major projects, which would include the drilling of 20 wells in communities where supply have not been reliable. How long Marvin in power? How long have he been the Minister of Public Utilities? Election in 25. So check how long Marvin in power. Check how long. And it's only when I start to say it, dig wells. Look for place, digs well. Service the community. Oh God, Marvin and his team now decide to get up. After all these years, they decide to get up now. He said that under the IDB program, 2 new water treatment plants will be constructed. Sad, yes? Leader of government business, Dr. Amory Brown, have stated that the rural communities of Mount Diablo is now receiving a reliable supply of water. Brown made his comments as he answered a question on behalf of Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez in the Senate. Caller, good night. Hello?
Yes, sir. Good night.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Yes, sir. Tell me one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every budget, it is allocate money for water for all projects.
Correct.
Every budget. Every time government wins, is water for all.
Mm-hmm.
Where all this money going? And where, if the government starving for funds right now, right? We all know this. They don't have the funds, right? That's why Keith Rowley saying that why give public servants 4%, correct?
Correct.
Right. If they're starving for funds, where Wasa getting this money to invest in this mini desal cut plans on them? Tell me, where the money coming from? If they don't have money, where they getting money to invest in this? And why it is we have to pay property tax? You tell me why we have to keep funding all the mega projects that's going on around the country. I trying to figure out this thing. Why does this happen? And then the electricity rates going up on top of that too. I trying to figure out the maths on the side. And this whole situation with the FUL thing, right? That's going on right now. Oh God, let me tell you something, side. The commissioner office could avoid paying everybody legal fees, you know. But you see, they're listening to certain people again. They're taking advice from uneducated people.
Correct. Yeah.
Give the people the fire. There's only taxpayers' money or they're wasting. Let me tell you something, side. I want to make this real quick. If it is, these monies was coming out of the commissioner pocket to pay legal fees. You see how fast all them people FUL are signing. You enjoy your night, side.
Thank you, my friend. Now, previously, a multi-million-dollar Wasa trucking scam was unearthed in Mount Diablo. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez revealed that one of the illegal operation is a former Wasa manager and added that this was a multi-million-dollar racket. So now, Marvin, that you're unearthing this now, what is going to happen with the contractor? Is he going to jail or is funding going to be reversed? I want you to answer that. Viewers, listen to this.
Mr. President, I want to begin the response to this question by acknowledging the Minister of Public Utilities and congratulating him and his team for their role in resolving this particular scandal. Mr. President, steps have already been taken to address this situation and to provide relief to the residents with respect to an uninterrupted supply of water. The Water and Sewage Authority has a dedicated fleet of water trucks that has been providing this community with a regular supply of water free of charge. Under the Community Water Improvement Program, the Ministry of Public Utilities has funded a 2.1 kilometer pipeline. And this pipeline project will provide the community with a dedicated supply of pipe-borne water. And since these interventions were initiated, Mr. President, we are informed that this community, Mount Diablo, has been in receipt of a supply of water to the residents. Thank you very much.
So Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, Marvin, he said in addition to a proper supply of truck-borne water, Wasa is working to complete the installation of 2.4 kilometer pipeline by the end of this month.
You also have people within the organization who are aligned with people outside of the organization to maintain the status quo because they're getting the kickback somewhere behind. You're talking about millions of dollars. It is a multi-million-dollar racket that is taking place.
So Trinidad and Tobago, that is what is taking place there. We're going to wait for more unfolding story on this topic. But it's that time now, viewers, where I introduce you to the Real Talk Ramadan feature. Sit back, rock back, enjoy this, and I'll be with you in a few minutes.
أطل على البارية من حراء زان السماء فكان بدرا نيرا قمر أطل على البارية من حراء زان السماء فكان بدرا نيرا هو رحمة الرحمن ذاك محمد من جاء غيثا للقلوب مطهرا يا نبي السلام عليك فاض دمع القلب وطال الشوق إليك يا نبي يا نبي صلاة الله وسلام الله دوما عليك يا نبي يا نبي يا نبي يا نبي صلاة الله وسلام الله دوما عليك المحبة والهداية والسلام حاء الحقيقة قد محى كل الظلام ميم المحبة والهداية والسلام حاء الحقيقة قد محى كل الظلام والميم محمود حوى طهر الخصال والدال داع للهدى والاعتدال يا نبي السلام عليك.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we hope you enjoy that. So viewers, this week will be our last week of hamper giveaways. For the entire month of Ramadan, Real Talk have been giving away hampers. We have come to the end of our program tonight, but nevertheless, until we meet again, good night.
دمع القلب وطال الشوق إليك